Feels like Groundhog Day talking about this again. I feel like I'm making a video on this topic every couple of weeks, and it's starting to get a little bit ridiculous because I've already mentioned this company doing it once already. So if you cast your mind back to May, which was many, many moons ago, I know, Xbox raised the price of their consoles, and guess what? They've done it again. It's starting to get to the point where it's feeling as though gaming is becoming a hobby which is more of a luxury than it's ever been in the past. Not only are games consoles pushing close to $800 and sometimes exceeding that, but games are also increasing in price, which means that the game quality kind of has to match up to it. But we're not really seeing so many games come out and really push those boundaries and justify their high price tags. So what's going on? Like, what is happening? What is the future of gaming? I kind of wanted just to talk about that and just sort of go over what has happened with Xbox and just share my thoughts on a few things that I've heard this week. So let's start off with the Xbox Series S. Now, those consoles have had $20 added to their price again, meaning they're now at $400 and $450. That's crazy. If you can remember when the Xbox Series X first released, it was nowhere near that price. I think it was like $350 at the top end for it. But now you're looking at $450, which is up 150. So it's 50% increase in price. Shouldn't be doing that. Things shouldn't get more expensive as the generation goes on. There is a period of time, as I've said before, when after that generation, the price will go down. And then eventually when the retro effect kicks in, the price will go up. You look at some of the older consoles now and you can kind of see that impact has happened, or they're back to the original retail price that they were when they first got released. It's crazy. Virtual Boys were pushing like 400 quid on eBay recently. I only looked because of the whole like Nintendo Switch Online thing that got announced for Virtual Boy, because I wanted to see how much it would cost to get the actual Virtual Boy over the shell, and it works out better for me to get the shell. But I digress. It's just bonkers to me that once again, we are seeing these entry-level consoles become premium console prices. And this is no shade on anyone who's got an Xbox Series S, but we all know it wasn't meant to be like the high-end console. That's what the Series X was all about. But this is one which has just kind of gone beyond what I class as acceptable now. And I'm no economist, okay? I'm someone who sits in this bare room talking to their phone with a couple of lights blinding me, and then I put things online and hopefully you all enjoy it. It is absolutely insane that these things are getting this pricey, but that's the Series S. What about the Series X, the premium console? Well, that's also gone up in price, go figure. So the digital edition of the Series X originally launched at $450. Yes, that's the price of the Series S now, the top end model of that with higher storage, but still. Well, it increased, and now it is pushing $600 for the digital edition of the Xbox Series X. Let that sink in. $600 for a games console. I have no words. I do, it's a kind of the whole point of this video, but still. And then we have the non-digital edition of the Series X, which launched at $500. Now it's $650. Now granted, that's only $50 more than digital edition, so it's kind of kept that sort of disparity there, but that's still $650. I'd like to point out as well that the reason I'm saying dollars is because this price only impacts America. As far as I'm aware, at this point in time, these prices haven't gone up around the world. They are only being reflected in the North American prices because, well, reasons we'll get into later. You can kind of figure it out if you have been listening to the news lately, but $650 for the Xbox Series X. But we're not stopped there, all right? We have got one more to talk about. Then we have the 2 terabyte model of the Xbox Series X, the Galaxy Special Edition one. It was $600 when it first came out. Then it was $730, and now $800. That's lunacy. And before you sit there and you think, oh, but PlayStation's also got to put their prices up this year, you're not mentioning that, I've already talked about that. Go watch the video on it. That's also insane. At no point am I justifying any one of these people, or any one of these companies, I should say, justifying these prices going up. It is ridiculous that these things are happening. I don't know if it's a combination of greed and the political economic climate that's happening. It is probably a combination of the both. But if you keep on paying it, they're gonna keep on like getting away with it. It's ridiculous that we keep on falling for this and then keep on going, oh, it's still happening? Yes, of course it's still happening because you keep on paying for it. I'm part of the problem and so are you. We do have a little bit of an insight as to why this is happening this time, and it is to do with a thing called macroeconomic climate. Now, I'm an idiot. I don't know what a macroeconomic climate is or macroeconomics at all. The only macros I concern myself with are carbs, protein and fats, but I'm assuming it is to do with tariffs. Yes, the T word that has been thrown around loads with it because of whatever restrictions they're putting or whatever they're charging. But these prices don't kick in straight away. They are going to be kicking in from October 3rd. So you've got a little bit of time if you really are on the fence about buying one of these consoles to get one. It's just crazy to think that a console that I bought on release day, well, I think did I get the PS5? I got the PS5 on release day. I got the Xbox a little bit later on. But the console that I bought at its release price is now worth more money it's still available to purchase off the shop shelf. That's crazy. That doesn't, up here, that doesn't work well. Nothing really works well up here, but you get the point. I was watching a video by Spawnwave who mentioned a thing about not so much a gaming crash, but a gaming recession. And it got me thinking that, yeah, we're probably not gonna see the gaming crash again like we saw in the late 80s, early 90s, where Nintendo essentially saved the industry. If you don't know about the gaming crash, I would really suggest you look into it because it's really interesting. It's a really important part of the gaming industry history as well. And they say history repeats itself, and it kind of is here. Instead of the market flooding with stuff, it is just pricing out the people who want to actually be part of it. When people are having to make these conscious choices about what games we pick up, because we don't have the ability to just go out and drop a few quid in the game now, because these games are no longer 40, 50 quid experiences. They are 70 quid, 80 quid games. It's crazy. And then you've got practices like Nintendo has done where you've got a 66 quid game like Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then you already 3 months later are having DLC come out for an additional like 17, 18 quid, whatever it was. That's ridiculous. You've basically charged me the best part of 90 quid for this game. Get out of here. If I want to have the full experience within the first 3 months of owning it, I've got to spend this money. It's just dumb. That's just stupid, and we can't let them get away with this. And I'm not saying like, oh, we should boycott everything. No, but vote with your wallet. Make conscious choices. Don't buy everything because it's just there. Wait for reviews to come out. Actually think about it. But anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about was the gaming recession remark that John made. It got me thinking because we're still seeing games come out for last gen. We are still seeing games come out for PS4 consoles, for Switch 1 consoles. Granted, Switch 2's only just come out, but still. I remember the days when a new generation of console came out and the old generation just stopped, like pretty much there and then. Unless anything was close to coming out for it, anything that was coming out after that point was for the new generation. Things would linger around for a little bit, but you wouldn't really see them in shop shelves and stuff like that for a while. It would just go. And that was that. But you're still seeing PS4 games, you're still seeing PS4 consoles, you're still seeing all these other things that you can pick up for the last generation because we're not fully into it yet because a lot of people haven't moved over. It's more than it was, but Sony's still having a problem getting people to fully invest in the PS5 generation. And if they bring out the PS6, I can't see it getting any better because it's only going to be a case of, well, I've got a PS5 and we're still making PS5 games. I'm happy with how the PS5 works, so I'm not fussed. It's the same as going to be for Xbox. Like, why would you want to shift over? If they're going to charge you like 600 quid for a console now, and that's on the lighter side of what these consoles cost, why would you want to go and pay more for it if you can still enjoy this console? It's ridiculous. I think we're going to see a really weird time with gaming going forward, with the rise of free-to-play games and the rise of microtransactions just being absurd now. It is a really weird time. And I know there's an economic climate happening in this world which is just bizarre and it is rough. And as a millennial, I am sick and tired of living through once-in-a-lifetime events. Please, no more. Can it just be settled for like 5 years, maybe, just some peace and quiet? That'd be nice. Please.